Today I'm going to be answering the question, is it worth keeping this old Ryobi belt sander in the workshop? I'm going to be doing a review. If that sounds interesting to you, then stick around because it's going to be fun. My name is James and this is Homestyle Woodcrafts. Okay, let's talk specifications. First of all, it has a belt size of 3 inches by 18 inches. And there you can see it mounted on the sander. Here's an example of a belt that has not yet been put on the sander. It has a sanding surface of 15 square inches. It has a no-load speed of 700 surface feet per minute. It weighs 6.3 pounds and it runs off of 120 volts and has a 5 amp motor. It is double insulated. I know, I can practically hear you asking, James, what are the features of this sander? This belt sander is a plug-in electric sander. It has a trigger switch for turning the belt sander on and off. It has a lock-on button for continuous use. So once you've depressed the trigger, you can push this button in and it will remain running until you hit that trigger again. Comes with a dust collection bag. Fits right there. It has 2 handles, so you can grab it like this. Operate the trigger here. You have firm control over the tool. It has a tension release lever, so you pull on this and it allows you to remove and replace the sanding belt. It's really nice because that's toolless. Then it has this tracking screw for adjusting the tracking of the belt right to left. All right, let's do a little demonstration. I sawed this board with my bandsaw. I knew it would give it kind of a rough cut and give us a good practice surface for sanding. So I hope you can see how rough this is. What I'm going to do is take the belt sander to it and see what we can do about this rough surface. Well, my sanding belt just fell apart. So I'm going to be putting on a new belt here. Not planned. Now this, I'm putting on a 120 grit belt, and my old one that I had on was 80. So it's not going to be removing material as aggressively, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of times when I'm sanding, I use this kind of grippy pad material. It's really a shelf liner I got at the dollar store, but it has enough grip to it that a lot of times I don't need to clamp down my piece of wood while I'm doing some work on it. In this case, as you saw, it got sucked up into the sander. Hey, doesn't always go as planned, and I'm just keeping it real. So now I'm going to set this stuff aside, clamp down my workpiece, and we'll finish this up. As you recall, I had a pretty rough board, and then after a couple of mishaps, finally finished sanding the board, at least for the purposes of this demonstration. So here's the board. It is a lot smoother. It worked really well. Board's not done. There's still a few spots that need to be sanded up. And then, you know, if this were a real project, I'd want to take a finer grit and sand it up really smooth. But this sander removed a lot of material fast and did a really nice job. Don't forget to protect your eyes, ears, and lungs. This thing is loud, it makes a lot of dust, and it can throw off pieces of wood because it's moving at a high speed. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. And if you're enjoying this content, I'd invite you to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification button so you know when I publish a new video. And by the way, I invite you to have a watch party with your friends. Break out those frozen burritos. I suggest maybe a little melted cheese on top, some salsa. Good times, my friends. Okay, it's time to review this Ryobi Belt Sander model BE318. So first of all, the condition of the body, the plastic casing, still in really good shape. Mine doesn't have any cracks in it. It's looking really good. So thumbs up on that part of it. The electrical cord, there's a kind of a little protective piece to protect the cord as it swivels here, and that has kind of broken away. I had it attached with electrical tape. Now the cord itself is still fine. No wires are exposed or anything, but there is some wear and tear here. And then right here on the dust collection bag, which I'd kind of give medium rating to anyway, but it's got some holes right here and right here. This one is perfectly suited to blowing dust directly in my face while I'm sanding, so that's not so great. But in time, as I upgrade my dust collection system in my shop, I will get something that can attach directly here, and I won't need this bag anymore. But there it is. Just in terms of its ability to sand wood, as I just demonstrated, it's works great. I mean, I have no complaints about that. If you happen to find one in a garage or a garage sale, or maybe you're looking for a sander online and you don't want to buy a new one, what I can say is I looked it up earlier today and I saw this online for $30 or $40. I was able to find the owner's manual online, and I even found a spare part, which is the belt, the timing belt that's inside here. So still very viable tool. And as far as I'm concerned, for me and the level at which I've been using it, which is hobbyist level over all these years, it's been a good tool and it remains a good tool. I wish it wasn't so loud, but I'm not sure that all belt sanders aren't loud. This is the only one I've ever owned. So my overall review, 2 thumbs up. It's serving me well and will continue to serve me well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful and interesting. If you think this one is interesting, I think you're going to think this one is interesting too, so I invite you to watch that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.